Hello and a very warm welcome on this ESPN Cricinfo special. Very few cricketers have been celebrated over their careers as much as the man sitting next to me, Irfan Pathan. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for this time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Your young son, Imran, has good genes. He's got a test cricketer father. He's got another India cricketer uncle. So, he's got his cricket sorted out.
Yeah, he holds the ball. He's 9 months old, but he holds the proper cricket ball.
Yeah.
New ball, he holds it and he does something. I don't know what he does. So, looks like he's going to use his wrist, pretty much. He doesn't use the bat like my nephew Ayan and Ryan. But he used the ball, so which is I'm thinking that he might be a bowler.
You haven't played for India since 2012. It's been 5 years. Are there days when you wake up and say it's all in the past, or do you wake up these days as a cricketer and say, right, I still have it in me to play for India?
Those phases do come. I'll be lying if I say no, those phases doesn't come. But yeah, it does come. But I'm a kind of character who's always been a very positive guy. Always been a guy who wants to fight. And I have changed my training as well. More than training, I changed my mindset this season. Coming out of this season, in Ramadan as well, when it was a break time for everyone, I was still training in the night, 11 o'clock after fasting. But at the same time, I'm doing a lot of activity on the field as well. Just recently, I played already my first 4-day game as a practice match as well. So, I started early this season. I'm doing everything I could to hopefully achieve my dream in the future. But this season is going to be very, very crucial. I know that I'm standing on a thin ice, especially, in India. There is a mentality when you pass 30, you are an old guy. But, a lot of people forget that, as you go older, your experiences do count. But as long as you're fit enough to do really well what you can do and you can achieve as your talented, as your talent, and I'm sure things can work out really well. So I'm hoping.
Do you ever, Irfan, get on YouTube or look at old videos and see, who's this guy? The guy who's able to bowl these beautiful in-dippers, the guy who's able to hit sixes at will, bat in the top order, the guy who's able to do play cricket in just the most free-flowing, naturally gifted way. Do you relate to that person?
Obviously, I do relate to it. I sometimes wonder that it's all about getting that extra support as well from the right channel, and I do hope as well. But sometimes I think then I come out and I believe that if you help yourself, everything's going to turn back to time what you used to do.
I was just looking at your record. Now, the last time you played a test match for India was almost a decade ago, 2008. Since that time, Irfan, you haven't played a lot of first-class cricket. It's a limited number of games. Is that something that you would kind of like to explain to audiences? Why is it that in this period of 9 or 10 years, there isn't a lot of body of work in terms of the amount of first-class cricket you've played?
Look, there are certain times the injuries happen at the wrong time. Like I have been got injured when I have really pushed myself. Like July, August, September is the time when you push yourself. And sometimes when you over push yourself, then you tend to get injured. And it happened a couple of times with me where I got injured at the time. And then obviously in 2011-12, I played the whole season of first-class cricket and played for India. The next season when I was playing continuous cricket, then we traveled to Sri Lanka. So that time obviously couldn't play the first-class cricket. The next season I got injured with the rib fracture, which was only 4 or 5 cases there in the world. It was my first rib fracture. It was hitting my lung as well while recovering. So it could have been danger for my life as well. Some of the injuries have happened at the wrong time, my knee fracture as well. A lot of people didn't know, that one injury which happened in the knee injury which happened. I was playing a Champions League game in the semi-final. We lost the game. The same night we took the flight. One day in between I played a 3-day games against England. Third day, the last day, I took a flight to Baroda. From the next day onwards, played Ranji Trophy games against Karnataka. Scored 100 in that game, bowled more than 20 overs in an inning. So I played about in 9 days. Before on the 9th day, my knee flared up and I got fractured in the 9 days. So in 10 days, I took international flight, played a T20 game, came to India, still jet lag, played 3-day game, scored 45 against England. So bowled more than 20-25 overs against England that practice game. Took a flight on the 3rd day, played played the Ranji Trophy whole game. Last day I got injured. Who plays that? No one plays 7 days, Ranji Trophy, 7 days first class cricket, but I played it. So that was my commitment, and eventually I got injured. I really believe that whatever experience I have had in my life, that is with me.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be able to pass on in the future as well. But that experience made me a better person. That experience made me, made me a person who sees larger picture than the small little picture. It's easier for someone to write it down that he played little less first class cricket. It's much more easier. But you don't, unless if I come out and say, and which I'll say in the right time in terms of those whole details, which people will come to know. But as I said, I've always been a guy who I don't answer directly. I have my own way to answer, and I'll hopefully, if I can achieve my dream, all the answers will be, all the questions will be answered nicely.
From your own point of view, in terms of how you've committed yourself to cricket, have you ever felt that commitment wavering? Have you ever felt like, listen, this much hard work, this much effort is not worth it. Things are easy in other avenues, so maybe I don't need to put all of this in.
I never thought like that. I know that that's going to be there with me for, I'm been lucky, that God has given me that whatever little spark, then whatever I'll do in other field, I'll be able to do it easily, and I'm very comfortable, especially even if I have to be in front of camera, I'm not shy.
No, you are not. And you'll do a great job of it. The reason I ask this question is when people look at a cricketer, they sometimes, they look at the player and they say, gosh, there's so much talent and gift there.
Yeah.
When they looked at Irfan Pathan, I remember there was a time when people used to say, we've seen the next Gary Sobers. He can bowl. He can bowl with the new ball. He's got 100 Test wickets. He can bat anywhere in a one-day game, in a Test match.
I want to bat anywhere, but I don't get the opportunity to bat anywhere.
You opened the innings in a Test match for India in Australia. You've done some amazing. When you look at, if you ever go on your Cricinfo profile and you look at the numbers, you look at your, I can say, this should have been more.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, there is no doubt. I do feel that it should have been more, and it's not end of it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel when I look back that these numbers could have been there. There are a lot of excuses I can give, but in cricket there is no excuse. Whatever's gone and gone, whatever done, dusted. It's the past. What you do right now, what you do in current future, what you're doing in terms of to get fulfill your dream or results. That is the most important thing, and this is what I'm fully concentrating on. Look, whatever I have done, be that it's 300 international wickets or nearly 3,000 international runs in all formats. It gives me satisfaction, but not totally. Definitely I could have achieved a lot more, but still, it's not end of the road.
Let me give you some criticism that you've had, something that you've been criticized for. There used to be a line of thought, you've heard this, you've read this. There used to be people who would say that, around an IPL season, Irfan is always fit. He's always available to play. He gets his big contract. He's happy to play an IPL and take his money and go home. But it's only when the IPL is over or when the domestic season is beginning that Irfan is not fit. What would you say to criticism of this kind, that you, in a sense, what it means is that you were prioritizing things that were benefiting you in maybe in a commercial, financial way, but not prioritizing your cricket?
Look, if that was the case, when I said earlier about a guy who's playing T20 game, taking a flight, because I wanted to make a comeback to Test cricket, and I was playing continuous in 2012 I'm talking about. I was a regular member of one day cricket. I was man of the match in my last, before getting injured. One day man of the match, T20 man of the match. So I was there regularly in one day cricket. So I wanted to make a comeback to Test cricket. So what I did was came back, took a flight. In 9 days I played 3-day game, I played 4-day game. No one plays 9-day cricket, but I played. So that was my priority. It would have been
so these are just things people say without the right information. That's what you're saying.
Without the right information, and I think people just sometimes just want to say, because they just want to talk about without having the real facts. So that criticism, I think, which was unnecessary criticism.
You've seen this, you've read this, you know this criticism exists.
Yes, absolutely. And now you know, because I haven't talked about it. I haven't talked about it that this was gone through before I got injured. So if, not me, even the fittest guy would get, like, in terms of energy, people used to call me energy powerhouse, because I can go on whole day. In energy was never an issue, but managing sometimes workload was an issue with me, in terms of sometimes I used to overwork. So that was a main issue, and this was happen exactly that way.
Player needs to be monitored and understood much
Exactly.
better by the system, which was not the case in what happened with you.
Especially in that incident, that could have managed really, really well. There are a lot of other incidents where I got a lot of help, but in this particular incident, where then after that I haven't played for India, so obviously that hits me. But that experience always going to be with me.
In the last few months, we've all watched Hardik Pandya grow as a cricketer, and he comes from your part of the world. I'm sure you know the brothers quite well, and there's a lot of buzz around him. And my grey hair, I'm reminded of the time of the buzz around you. All of the same sorts of things. Attacking batsman, beautiful, skilled bowler, fields and has this personality. What would you look at a young Hardik and say, do you see shades of Irfan? And what would you want to say to a young Hardik about ensuring that he is able to achieve all the things that people think he will achieve?
As I believe, I've seen it. His bowling is going to be very, very crucial for his career to go ahead, because he's not a guy who bowled from very young age. He started bowling late. He was batting, but for him to be fit, it's going to be the most importantly his recovery. Keeping all the other things aside, which he likes to do. He needs to just fully focus on cricket, and if he does that for next 5 to 7 years, he won't have to worry about not keeping his personal side aside. He'll have to just. Then he won't have to worry about it. He just have to go whatever he needs to do. But next 4 to 5 years, he just needs to ghode ki tarah banna padega. If he does that, I think he'll be fine.
Do you watch a lot of cricket, Irfan? Are you a watcher? Are you able to sit down and watch a whole game?
Oh yeah, I can definitely watch a whole game. But I need to see good cricket. If I see there is no competition, then I might not watch. But if there is a good series, good competition, I do love to watch. Especially Indian team, but any other team as well, but mainly Indian team.
What has been your favorite cricket memory involving Irfan Pathan, and your least favorite, cricket memory involving yourself? Your favorite one?
My favorite would be, I always say that, there are 2-3 things, not one. Playing for India for the first time, getting cap from Indian captain Sourav Ganguly, which was very close to my heart. That winning the game as well in Adelaide. Winning T20 World Cup against Pakistan 2007 final, man of the match, yes. And then Perth Test match, which I got man of the match as well. Bowling, batting number 3 in that game.
Yes, remember very well.
Yes, so that was very close to my heart, getting a hat trick as well, getting that swing. Still, we would have liked to, win that game, but that is close to my heart, getting that, that banana swing. There are a lot of incidents like that, and there are things which I would not have liked to have happen. I wish I would have played a test match in South Africa, New Zealand, England. I never played a test match in these conditions which bowler cherish.
And we're looking forward to seeing you back on the field. Thank you so much, Irfan.
Thank you so much for having me, and it was good fun.
Yes, thank you. That's Irfan Pathan, an Indian cricketer that every time who stepped on the field, you enjoyed and relished watching.